station, and you can watch us too. We are on your computer or your mobile device. Just head on over to supertalktv.com. And today we're getting an update, one that I think many of us have been waiting for. It's from Haylee Ladner. She is the mom of now 5. Her family grew from 2 to 7 back in February there at the University Mississippi Medical Center, and we're checking in on her precious miracles. Hey, Haylee.
Hey, how are you?
Congratulations, Mama.
Thank you so much.
I was trying to think back when we had you on Good Things. I think it was kind of midway through your pregnancy. It was before you had went in for mandatory bed rest. So catch us up. When did you get admitted for mandatory bed rest leading up to the deliveries of your precious?
So I went in for bed rest around January the 11th is when I was admitted into the hospital. And I was there for almost 6 weeks before giving birth to my babies. It was a long bed rest. I read a lot of books in that time. And we ultimately had the goal of getting to 28 weeks with our babies, which we got to, but I started having some signs of early labor, contractions, and so my doctor was like, okay, we're having these babies tomorrow at 9 a.m., and I freaked out a little bit. I was like, okay, well, it's time. So our babies were born the very next day. Adeline came about 9:19, and then Jake, who was the last one born, he came at 9:23, so they were all born like a minute within each other.
God bless Jake, because he's going to be coming behind those 4 girls for the rest of his life, probably so. He needs to be he needs to be ready for that. You know, the fact that he'll have 4 identical sisters that are all just a few minutes older than him, but he will be the baby. He will be the baby for ever, being loved on for sure. You know, you talk about those moments, Haylee. You know, there's very few of us, if anybody, listening to Good Things who knows what it's like to be pregnant with 5. Some for triplets and maybe, you know, more for twins. But every mother listening knows that feeling whenever the doctor finally says, okay, like tomorrow's it, like it's sort of time to go. And I assume no matter, you know, at what stage, there's that nervousness of like how it's all going to go out or go play out. So how did the delivery go? I know yours was definitely considered high risk and with its own possibilities, but everything go as smooth as possible with 5 babies?
Everything went as smooth as possible. I got to see 2 of the babies. They put them over the curtain as they were being born, Adeline and Jake, so the first and the last. In the middle 3, I could see them as they were being ushered off to the NICU. So everything went very smoothly. Like I said, the babies were born within a minute of each other. I did have a little bit longer of a recovery because you said, it was a high-risk surgery, and so we had a few complications, but nothing too crazy. And so I didn't get to see the babies in the NICU that day. I had to wait until the next morning to go see them because I needed all the rest I could. But everything went smoothly for the most part. We had everybody here. Our family was here, so it was a good day.
I know anytime a baby is born, you know, around that 28 weeks or sort of before the magic 39 really, or 40 weeks, there's always calls for concern and extra care, and they've been under the care there at UMC. So how old are they today? The math is hard, but we're right at 4 weeks, almost a month, I think?
They are 3 weeks old today.
3 weeks old today. Okay, and how are we making progress? I know, you know, again, it's a day-by-day sort of, you know, when they're in the NICU, but how are things going for your 5?
Oh, my goodness, they're wonderful. Everybody talks about how they are so surprised and just amazed at how well that they're doing. None of them are on ventilators. They actually got to all come off of ventilators like a day or 2 after they were born, and they're on CPAP machines, so they can breathe on their own. They just have to have a little bit of extra respiratory support to give their lungs a little bit of pressure for expansion. But they're doing great. They're all gaining weight. In fact, Jake was the biggest when he was born. He was 2 pounds and 5 ounces, and 3 of his sisters have outgrown him. So it's pretty cool to get to see that and get to see how much they're growing and how much they're changing every day. And they're just it's just the greatest thing I get to do, to go and get to see them every day and get to hold them and get to watch them grow. And I'm like so excited I get to do it for the rest of my life.
So you do have the opportunity, you have had the opportunity, Haylee, now to hold all your babies and sort of have a little less restriction around them, as you would completely understand why you would in the very beginning. But Mom's been able to spread the love now. She's loving on all 5?
Oh, absolutely. I have held all of them almost 3 times. I have one more baby to hold, and I will have held all of them 3 times. And then my husband has held them all twice. And so we're capitalizing on all the baby snuggles that we can. So it's been great.
Is there any projection, Haylee, on when you'll get to take your babies home? I know their health and making sure that they are stable and able is the most important thing. You've got the rest of your life to have them running around the house and you chasing after them. But is there an anticipation of when that may be for you guys?
So the hospital doesn't typically release premature babies until they're at least 35 weeks corrected. And so ours are 31 weeks corrected right now because they were born at 28. And so they still have a minimum of at least 4 weeks to go. We don't know for sure that they'll get released at the same time. They probably won't, to be honest, just because there are individuals and, some may need just a little bit more support than others. Some may take a little bit longer to come off of the CPAP machine and be able to fully breathe on their own and things like that. But we're looking at a minimum of 4 weeks, potentially a little bit longer.
Now, it would be an understatement, Haylee, to say that your story has captivated the nation, not just here in Mississippi. I remember the headlines here in our state when it first sort of got out that you and your husband have been blessed with such unique miracles. But then, man, you had them bad girls and one boy. And then it seems like the entire nation was knocking at your door from the Today Show and everything. What's that like? Is that just weird? Is it sort of strange? To get that kind of attention for something, you and your husband prayed for and wanted nothing more but to be, parents?
It is. It's a little strange. We get recognized out in public sometimes, like just going out to eat and things like that. And they're like, oh, congratulations on your baby. Or, oh, you're the mom that had the 5 babies. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. So it's a little bit weird because we are just like regular, ordinary people that, this just so happened to happen to us. But it's also really good because it does give us the opportunity to get to share what a blessing that this is and show what all God has done in our lives with these babies. And so it's also a really good opportunity for us. And so we don't run away from that. We actually appreciate that a lot when we get we get to do that and get to share that with people.
Yes, because you had spontaneous quintuplets. It's like 1 in 60. I was reading the stats, and it's, you really were. It was God breathed for them to sort of be here and for you guys to be the parents and to get the care that you have received there at UMC or here in Mississippi. I think it's a great story to show that, Mississippi has the hospitals and the capabilities of giving you the care that you deserve. I read you had 30 specialists raring and ready to go when you gave birth. What was it like feeling like you had that team of support around you?
Oh, my goodness, they were great. They literally did everything possible to make sure that I was okay and these babies were okay. I cannot say enough good things about UMMC and the medical staff that we have been blessed with over here. There were teams of doctors that were on call, prepared for in the middle of the night for if these babies decided to make an early entrance. For weeks, up until, as soon as I got admitted, people were taking on-call duties in case this happened at random. And they just really embraced us and embraced our family. They had meetings about us every week and then daily as it got closer to time. We had ultrasounds daily to check on the babies, and so they really went above and beyond to make sure that we were cared for, and I will always be so appreciative of that for forever because that's just something that, not everybody would necessarily
have done. Well, Haylee, we appreciate you checking in. I hope you're getting plenty of rest. You love on those babies. And I'm going to get you back in every so often. We're going to check in on the Ladner family if that's okay with you.
That sounds great to me.
All righty. You guys stick with us. We got more for you coming up next.